Hello there, my name is Ignatius and welcome to my YouTube channel. So all women who are sexually active would agree with me that sexual pleasure is not complete, or it is not reached if you don't reach to the plateau, or if you don't reach to orgasm. So sexual pleasure begins with desire, then it goes along a journey. And when you go through that journey, when you have sexual intercourse, you're supposed to reach to the end of the journey. So women would agree with me, those that are sexually active in particular, would agree with me that it is better not to begin the journey if you're not gonna arrive. So in today's video, I'm going to discuss with you, I'm going to show you that because of inequality, because of this requirement, cultural requirement, that a woman should submit to a man, sexual pleasure has been for a long time a non-event. So the culmination or the end goal of a sexual experience has not been happening in most women for a very long time. Studies done on the human reproductive system show that by 35 BCE, studies had been completed on the penis, which is the organ that is used for the male reproductive system or for the male sexual experience. So a scientist by the name Hippocrates had already done that research and was confident that he had finalized the results to do with the penis and how it functions, especially during sexual intercourse. So remember, women in antiquity, in ancient times, they were not considered as complete human beings. If you haven't come across a video that we explain the suffering that women went through because of submission in ancient times, you can look for it on this channel. It is there. So in antiquity, because women were not considered as complete total human beings, they had no opportunities to become scientists. So scientists were men, and male scientists were mandated to understand the human body. Education was mainly for men, so the human body was understood by males. The female body was not understood completely. Now, the major difference between a male and a female is mainly the reproductive system in terms of their bodies. So the female reproductive system was supposed to have been learned by a female. So if females had not been subjected to inequality and submission to their male counterparts, had there been scientists by that particular time, it would have been easier for the women to have contributed to the understanding of their female sexuality. But unfortunately, that was not done. So because women did not have a voice, not only in society, but even in the home, a woman would not say what they pleased them in terms of the sexual experience. Women were just under pressure. They would just put pressure upon themselves to have babies, and that's all. Remember also that human science had not yet invented contraceptives. So for a woman, the moment that they have sex, they expect to have a baby. The reason why you get into a sexual experience, why the body wants to have this desire to get into a sexual experience, is to get to the climax. It is to get to orgasm. Actually, the research shows that an average human being that is sexually active spends 20 seconds of their time per week in orgasm. So 20 precious seconds are spent in orgasm per week. If you're going to calculate that, that amounts to 12 minutes a year. So an average human being spends 12 minutes in orgasm per year. You're going to calculate it, that will give you about 12 years of an average life they are spent in orgasm. So even though it takes 20 seconds a week, it is a very, very important part of human life. And that is the reason why we have so many writings from ancient times even to our times that celebrate love. The reason why those writings celebrate love is because of that 20 seconds per week experience. And when that 20 seconds per week has not been experienced, and yet the process that should lead to the 20 seconds has been begun, it leads to depression or frustration, especially for most women. If you think that women have not been frustrated or depressed because of that, go and visit your history. During the 1970s, 1969, 1970s into the 1980s, during the period of the feminist movements, one of the things that they fought for was to say, look, men, we also need to enjoy sex. We are not enjoying sex. Why? Because men were focusing on themselves and not on women when it comes to sexual intercourse. So one of the reasons why men would actually focus on themselves is because of lack of understanding on how even the female pleasure is actually accomplished. On a woman's body, there's a body organ that was put there by God, if you believe in creation. And that body organ was put there to take care of sexual pleasure. That's the reason why that body organ is there. And that body organ is known as the clitoris. So the clitoris was not discovered when Hippocrates, the great scientist of centuries past, when he discovered the penis, studied the penis as a sexual organ and was done with the penis and how it actually reaches this orgasm, this pleasure for men, and how it was celebrated. No scientist had discovered the clitoris and what its function is all about. The most important body part on a woman in as far as sexual pleasure is concerned was not known. It was only discovered around 1559. There is a male scientist, a man who does not have the clitoris, who claimed to have discovered a clitoris in 1559, and that is the year that that urologist scientist unfortunately passed away. The scientist's name was Roldo Colombo. So Mr. Colombo, or some writers they call him Mr. Columbus. So Mr. Columbus claimed that he discovered the clitoris. Before then, in the Middle Ages, the clitoris was known, but you see, female orgasm in itself was considered to be evil. It was considered to be out of this world. And the people that knew the clitoris back then, they gave it a nickname. It was colloquially known as the devil's teat or the devil's eye. It was associated with evil. Actually, female orgasm itself was actually associated with evil. So when this urologist discovered the clitoris, he discovered only the external part of the clitoris but did not understand much about it. Further research into the clitoris that was done on a cow and not on a woman's body. So it was done on a cow, and they discovered that the clitoris had about 7,000 nerve endings of a cow, and it was well documented in many books, that the clitoris actually has 7,000 nerve endings. So that was known only until 2005, and I'm going to talk about 2005 later on. in 2005, that is when they discovered that it was actually not true. It was discovered that it was not true. The clitoris actually has 10,000 nerve endings. So in 2005, Dr. Helen O'Connell, an Australian, discovered the clitoris in reality now this time. She managed to really dig into what the clitoris actually looks like, what is its structure, what is she actually developed a model, a plastic model of what a clit looks like, the health that needs. She's a urologist, by the way. She's a specialist urologist. She's the one who discovered this important organ of the body that deals with sexual pleasure of a woman. She solved the equation. Right now, if you go on YouTube, you find so many videos that speak about this important organ, body organ for female pleasure, courtesy to Dr. Helen. But after talking about Dr. Helen, 2005, I just want you to see something. Thousands of years back, women did not enjoy sexual pleasure. Sexual pleasure was a non-event. It would occur. Historians, certain authors on this subject, they'll tell you that sexual orgasm would occur, but it would occur by accident because nobody understood what the woman's body functions like as far as the issue of sexuality is concerned. Why? Because there was no equality of the genders. So science was a privilege that was restricted to men. Men are the ones who get educated. Women are relegated at home. So science was done by men. Men do not have a clit. So because men do not have a clitoris, they wouldn't know what the clitoris is like and how it functions. Further to that, because of this issue of female or wives submit, women could not come up and open up to say out how they feel, what their feelings are. They believed, or rather they thought themselves as mere objects. And as for them, if they did benefit that day, well, so be it. That'll be fine. That'll be good. But nowadays, that feeling which produces endorphins. Endorphins are happy hormones. The feeling of orgasm, a feeling that of all feelings, of all emotions given to humanity by God, none can rival the feeling of orgasm. It lasts less than 5 seconds maximum, according to science, but that feeling is deeper than the feeling of laughing. It is much deeper than the feeling that you feel when you are crying or when you are sad. It is difficult to explain. The nerve endings, when you talk about the nerve endings, the nerves are the ones that connect to the brain. Imagine having 10,000 wires all communicating with the brain that something is happening here. That's how the clit is actually designed. And imagine for thousands of years, that particular important body organ was not known. So the moment that the clit has been pleasured and it's time now to give up, every part of the body actually gets the communication that something has just happened, something indescribable by words, and spasms occur in a person's body. And soon after that 5 seconds, 6 seconds experience, that person feels all joyful, relaxed, sleepy like a baby. They want to sleep. Such kind of privilege that women should have enjoyed for thousands of years, they could not, all because of the inequalities in gender. If you like this video and you want to hear more on this particular channel, please subscribe. Let's meet next time.